Hey, it's Jason. This is the new Galaxy S26, the entry point into Samsung's latest lineup of their flagship phones. And if you were to sum up this entire video, it would be this. This phone is great, but seriously, no one cares. And it kind of feels as though the regular Galaxy S device has been in that weird category for quite some time now, mainly because it's usually overshadowed both figuratively and literally by the Galaxy Ultra, and it's no different going into 2026. That said, I've been using the regular Galaxy S26 for about a month now, even comparing it to the Galaxy S26 Ultra, and despite it being a familiar device, I actually think it's a solid phone that deserves a lot more attention than it's currently getting. But before we jump into it, a real quick plug for the JSL newsletter. I send subscribers out a brand new full-res wallpaper every single week, as well as links to really good tech deals and fun articles written by me. It's totally free. The link to subscribe will be in the description down below. Okay, let's talk about the first reason why I feel as though the Galaxy S26 is mostly an afterthought for most people, and that's the phone's physical design. And the main criticism here seems to be focused around the fact that, barring some minor changes, the regular Galaxy S phone has looked the same for many years now. So you still get the familiar glass-on-glass design with the nice color-matched armor aluminum frame. You do get some kind of new colors like this sky blue variant that I have here, which is basically a slightly more saturated icy blue from last year. You still get the vertically stacked triple camera layout in the corner, but with the return of a camera housing, albeit a small one. You also get a slightly larger 6.3-inch OLED display in the front, achieved by a super thin bezel. You get Gorilla Glass Victus 2 on both the front and back glass, and you still get a strong IP68 dust and water resistance rating. So it's not a complete clone from last year, but I feel as though Samsung fans are desperately wanting a design overhaul, and this is definitely not it. And as someone who's pretty deep in Apple's ecosystem, this is a frustration that I know all too well. Apple kept virtually the same design of the non-Pro iPhone for 6 straight years now, so the fatigue is real. But I'm also of the mindset of not trying to fix something that's working, and the form factor of the S26 when looked at on its own is actually quite nice. I've been a vocal advocate for smaller phones, and the S26 is by far the most comfortable out of the options that are available, as it's compact and easy to hold in one hand while still giving you a generous amount of screen. The return of the camera housing, in my opinion, helps bring some personality back to the look of this phone. I've always felt as though it looked almost too minimal when it used the floating design. And considering that even the S26 Ultra returned to using the same look and build materials as the regular S26, you're not really gaining much by going with the way more expensive option when talking physical design. At the end of the day, I know it can be frustrating when designs are recycled year after year, but there's no doubt that the S26 is still a really well put together device that retains premium status in my opinion. Now, looks aside, there's another reason why the Galaxy S26 is often overlooked despite it being a really good phone, and that's because of performance. Now, off the rip, I'm gonna say upfront that the Galaxy S26 over the past month has been performing great. As to be expected, this is a flagship phone, so Samsung's One UI has been fast and easy to navigate. The 120Hz variable refresh rate is super smooth and lag-free, and even though I don't use most of the AI features, the times that I do, everything has been impressively fast. So I don't want to give off the impression that the S26 has a performance problem per se, but the issue is this, and this isn't a new issue as Samsung has been doing this for many years, but basically depending on what region you're in, you could have a Galaxy S26 with a different processor than someone else. For example, if you buy the S26 in North America, the phone is equipped with the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 chip, but if you buy the S26 in India, for example, it comes powered with Samsung's in-house Exynos 2600 processor. Now, I'm not going to get into the weeds on the differences here, but the general takeaway is this. The tests have shown that by and large, Snapdragon chips outperform the Exynos chips, particularly with single core performance and optimization. Now, I'm of the mindset that the differences here are pretty minor and don't really get in the way of the user experience for most normal users, so it's not like it's a night and day difference, but because Samsung uses this split processor strategy, I feel as though it creates a rift between its potential consumer base. Like, even if it is incremental, I'm kind of annoyed that just because I live in a particular region, my S26 is gonna come with the lower powered and likely much cheaper processor when others are getting quote unquote the better version when it's the same phone. And I really think this may be the reason why folks look past the S26 and just set their target on the S26 Ultra, as that particular device uses the Snapdragon processor in all regions, so everyone gets the exact same phone. This isn't exclusive to the S26, as Samsung has been doing this for years, but I think the dual processor strategy is only contributing to the fatigue around this particular variant of the Galaxy S and why people are passing on it. But when it comes to what I still think is the most important area of performance for most people, the camera performance, again, the S26 does well in my opinion, but in a boring kind of way. And that's mainly because the Galaxy S lineup has had the same camera components for many years now, with almost no real feature updates. So you get the same 50 megapixel main sensor, a 12 megapixel ultra wide, a 10 megapixel 3x zoom, and a 12 megapixel selfie camera. Now, by and large, these cameras perform great when it comes to still image quality, so I don't want to get it twisted to make it sound like something is wrong, because the photos are sharp and, depending on your preferences, they do have a nice stylized look. But Samsung continues to crank the knob a bit too far when it comes to processing, in my opinion, and the images can come off a bit artificial, which is something that the Galaxy S has struggled with for many years now. When it comes to video, the 8K and 4K video that you're able to get out of this phone is strong, and you do get the new Horizon Lock feature that is actually pretty useful if you are a run-and-gun shooter, but again, nothing too exciting for folks who are holding an older Galaxy S device, especially if they're looking for a reason to upgrade. Now, Samsung did do one important upgrade, which is updating their base storage on their phone. So the base Galaxy S26 has 256 gigabytes of internal storage, which is way healthier than 128. But in doing so, they increased the price of the base model to $899, which I think is the nail in the coffin for a lot of folks. And look, I don't think it was necessarily wrong for Samsung to increase their prices, but when you factor in the lack of changes elsewhere, it kind of leaves a bad taste in consumers' mouths and takes whatever little excitement they may have had for this phone and really throws it out the window. And even though the Galaxy S26 is a good phone that does virtually everything well, I can't help but feel as though it's a lazy device that could and should have been a lot better. But hey, that's just me, and I want to know what you guys think. What do you guys think about the Galaxy S26? Do you think it's time for Samsung to really give this phone an overhaul? Or do you think I'm complaining about nothing? Curious to get your thoughts. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments down below. And in case you guys missed my review of the Galaxy S26 Ultra, definitely check it out here. You're not going to want to miss it.